This video is going to be all about how to upgrade your style, your home, and your environment. I personally believe that our lifestyle, including the things that we wear and how we style our home and how we take care of all of our things, has such a big impact on our ability to achieve success. I'm sure you've all heard the quote, dress for success. When you dress up, you feel better, you take more action. I so believe in all of this, but it goes beyond just personal style for me and really seeps into the style of our own home. I myself have personally done a lot over the past few months to upgrade my personal style, to upgrade my home, and I just want to go into the really practical ways in which I've done this because, in all honesty, I am someone who is extremely unvisual. Like, I cannot think of like a vibe in my head and then bring it to life. You know those like ultra creative people who can just bring things to life? Like Mike, my videographer, that's why I need him. But I just am not that person. I just cannot bring images to life in my mind. And so what I wanted to do in this video was give you some really practical things that you can do so that your outer world, meaning your style and your home, can start matching that inner vibe, that inner style that you think is going to make you the most happy. If you did enjoy this video, I would very much appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you can see all of the videos in this series all about upgrading your confidence to upgrade your life. And that's another thing in this video, I'm not just going to give you practical tips. I also want to talk a little bit about having the confidence to rock it, to just be who you want to be so that you can stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and just start living more happy. And of course, on that note, I do just want to remind you that I have a free workbook. It is called the Killer Confidence Bible. If you're someone who struggles with worrying about what everyone else thinks, you can't experiment with your style or upgrade your home or just take action towards your goals. If that is stopping you from achieving the life that you desire, then definitely download this free workbook. The first step is that you do need to get inspired. I would say take your time with this. It's really easy to get influenced. I spoke about this in a previous video where we spoke about career and business and how it's easy to make decisions by the influence of others. Since we were little, we have been exposed to so much marketing material that our mindset is quite often inundated with what everybody else is telling us that we should want. Don't just go on Instagram and have like a Kylie Jenner ad pop up and tell you what you want your style or your home to look like. Actually really start to think about who are you and what lights you up, like what makes you happy. Spend time on Pinterest, spend time on Instagram, maybe go to a bookstore, maybe go out into your city, go out and actually see people and see what kinds of styles light you up, what kinds of styles actually give you this proper warm fuzzy feeling for both style and for your home. I spend a lot of time on Pinterest, right? I love Pinterest. I probably spend more time on Pinterest. Actually, no, that's not true. I spend most of my life on Reels. Secondary to Reels, I spend a lot of time on Pinterest. I can just tell when I'm consuming something that I know is going to make me happy or I know would truly make me feel like I'm satisfied with my style or my home style, it gives me this like warm, fuzzy feeling. Like there is maybe a little bit of envy in there and that's fine, but also it's like there's this deep desire to make my life look like this, that my intuition is like telling me this is the style that is best suited for you. You know, it's not just like you should want this, it's like this deep knowing that that's what I truly, truly want. But you can't get to that point if you're rushing it. You can't get to that point if it's like, oh, like what should I buy to upgrade my style? And then you just see all these influencers selling you stuff. No, really take the time to intuitively and emotionally connect to inspiration and find out what is truly going to make you happy. Like all of the processes that I'm sharing in these videos, don't rush this stuff. But my suggestion, like I said, would be spend some time on Pinterest, spend time on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, podcasting if you are a visual person and can think things, images in your mind. Go look at books, go look at magazines, speak to people, look at fashion TV if that's still around. Is MTV even still around? I don't know. But anyway, spend some time actually consuming styles and vibes. Like what you're really trying to achieve here through this inspiration phase is like, what kind of vibe are you going for? Then what I would do is I would take some time to write out what you think that vibe means to you. Like, why is it important? It will help make sure that the vibe or the style that you're going for with your personal and home style is in alignment with your values. I started looking at my vibe that I wanted to go for, my new vibe. And it was a lot of like comfiness, like cozy tracksuits, like terracottas, creams, minimalist, like simplistic, but it represented like beachy tones and very Australian native kind of vibes. And it was so aligned with my values of freedom, of simplicity, and all these things that I absolutely love. And so therefore I knew I wasn't being influenced and that I was actually enjoying these styles because it was important to me. So again, just take some time, get inspired, use Pinterest, use social media to find a style for both, make a style board for your personal style and make a home board for your home and just pin a whole bunch of stuff. The more visual you can get with this process, the easier it is actually going to be for you to bring it to life. Which brings me to my second step. You have to get strategic about the changes you need to make. Many times in the past, I have been like, I'm gonna upgrade my style. I'm going to upgrade my house. And it's like, I just don't do anything because I'm so confused as to where to even start. Like, how does one go about changing their personal style or their home style? And it was like I had just gotten to the point where maybe I was so heavily influenced by everyone else that I just didn't even know how to make those changes until I came up with an ultra strategic, intellectually based plan for making these changes. And this is gonna sound freaking nerdy, but honestly, this is what I did. I walked around my entire house, my entire cupboard with a notebook, and I literally like Marie Kondo'd my whole entire house. I was like, what in my bedroom do I not like? Okay, well, I don't like the way that like the lamps are on my bedside table. I don't like my bed head. I don't like the linens that I'm using at the moment. I went through my living room and I was like, what in here feels misplaced? I had my Pinterest board with me and I would go to like a living room picture and then I would look at my living room and I was like, what doesn't feel like it actually matches here? Honestly, I did this on a Sunday afternoon and I did it for like 3 hours. I sat around and I went through all the microscopic details of my home, and then I went into my wardrobe and I like pulled out everything that didn't feel like it fit with me or my vibe. Like I wasn't wasteful and just throwing things out because they didn't show up on my Pinterest board. I put into bags and donated all the clothes that just didn't spark joy or like didn't feel like they fit this vibe. So what I was left with was bedroom, get rid of blah, 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 blah. Why? Make sure to add new linens, new bed head. I needed to get a new couch. Like I came up with a really strategic list of all the individual things that needed to be changed, right down to like in my cupboards, I wanted to change my mugs, which I still haven't done yet, but I will get to that in just a second. But I have this really, really strategic list of what needs to be removed and what needs to be replaced in order to bring my inspiration to life. My next piece of advice is to not rush the changeover. It's really, really easy to get super impatient when you're wanting to change your style or change your home style, especially if you've got a really clear picture and a really clear plan of what actually needs to be changed. But both financially and sustainably, it's not a good idea to just go change absolutely everything in your wardrobe and absolutely everything in your home. It's almost like you want to grow into your new style. Take your plan and just slowly make those changes. If it's your home, maybe you can start with a few decor pieces and see and try on the style and see whether it actually is vibing with you. And then maybe you can move to some bigger pieces like changing your furniture. Like for me, I actually just changed the cushions and my bed linen and things of that nature. And now I'm slowly moving on to changing the bigger things. Like I've just recently bought a couch and I have also started looking at beds and other pieces of furniture as well. I've slowly eased myself into this change. This has been a process of about 4 or 5 months now. And similarly with my style, I bought some really signature pieces for my wardrobe, some new jeans and some new everyday items that I knew fit this new style. And then slowly but surely over time, I started just growing into this new style as well. My mindset ultimately started looking for these new pieces because I had grown into this new vibe. What I found in the past is that when I have tried to change things too quickly, ultimately I get led astray either by influence or me just not really knowing what I'm trying to achieve. And then I end up with a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't actually fit my style or my vibe or the things that I was actually going for. So slowly but surely integrate it, grow into this new style, grow into this new vibe. And over the process of maybe 6 months to maybe even a year, you can go and change your life, your outward life, to match this inner style and inner vibe that is more appropriate for you. The reality is you're probably going to change your mind at some stage as well, and that's okay. And that's and that is totally okay as well. And that's why going at it a little more slower and a little more sustainably is definitely going to be the best option for you. The last thing I do just want to talk about is having the confidence to actually step into a new style. I think a lot of people don't want to experiment, particularly with their personal style. I know it's a little easier to change your home style, but a lot of people don't want to experiment with their personal style because maybe they feel embarrassed. Maybe they feel that people are going to judge them if they make changes. And honestly, I just want to say that this is totally normal. It is completely normal to not want to stand out too much, to not want to change too much, because we are all so conditioned to be afraid of being rejected by our community. And I talk more about this in the Killer Confidence Bible, so again, definitely download that in the link in the description below. It is completely free, so why not? I think the most important thing to realize is that we are so afraid of being judged by other people. We're so afraid that if we change something in our personal style or in our home, people are going to think we're narcissistic or we're full of ourselves or we're just silly. But the reality is very few people are actually thinking that in depth into you. I mean, think about it. How many people are you really sitting around thinking about, judging constantly all day long, looking at their stuff, being like, oh my God? You're probably not that much. I mean, not unless you're not that great of a person, and if that's the case, maybe you should work on that. But you don't sit around judging people for their choices that often. Other people are probably not sitting around and judging you. You know why? Because they're sitting around worried about whether everyone else is judging them. Most people are heavily focused on themselves. The people who do inspire us the most are the people that live outside their comfort zone, the people that color outside the lines. Although yes, maybe it is scary to change your personal style, to try something new, to be a pioneer or an experimenter. The reality is you're going to inspire a lot more people than people who are going to judge you for it. So just give it a go. Why not? Things are always so much scarier before they're done. I guarantee if you start experimenting and changing your style and changing your vibe, most people probably won't even notice, to be honest. So why not just go for it? Hey, life is way too short to be living a life that isn't totally lighting you up. So maybe, again, a little bit of a different video than the very practical move this here and get this piece when we're talking about style and home decor, but I wanted to go a little bit more broad, a little bit more general, and give you some really practical confidence and mindset things that you can do to just upgrade your outward life to reflect more of who you want to be. I will say that I have upgraded my style and I've upgraded my home, although I won't necessarily say that style and items are the things that bring us ultimate happiness. I do look at my life and my style and feel a lot more satisfied with myself. So making these upgrades can be incredibly helpful. All right, that is it for me. This is another video in the Upgrade Your Confidence to Upgrade Your Life series. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments below, what types of things within your life are you going to look to upgrade? Are you going to upgrade your style? Do you want to start restyling your home, maybe your home office? Maybe you want to get your hair done? Let me know what it is that you are going to upgrade. I would totally love to have a chat to you about it. I really appreciate you, especially if you did stay to the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.